What up, fam? Welcome to the Pulse of Marketing, your go-to spot every marketing Monday, where we keep it real and straightforward when it comes to launching and growing your business. I'm your host, Coach LJ, and you already know the vibe. You don't have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. Today's episode is titled Marketing and Sales is a Game, and it is essential to master it without being pushy or fake. So, the question is, how do you market and sell without being pushy? That is a good question. Just think about that for a minute. So, how do we market our business, market ourselves, or market our service? But in this episode, you will learn the rules of the game and play it with purpose, persistence, and principle. Now, picture this. I am 22 years old, broke with a dream in my chest and nothing but a clipboard in my hand. I was walking up to strangers' doors selling home improvement services, praying someone would say yes. Most did not, but I understood the law of averages. And today, I live by a simple code. Some will, some won't. So what next? Let's say that again. That's very important. When you gonna understand this principle, I mean, your marketing game would go a long way. When you can just understand, and I just don't use this in marketing, I use this in my business, I use this whenever. Some will, some won't. So what next? That code changed everything for me because once you stop fearing the no, you start chasing the yes with clarity and confidence. If you had to market your product or service today, but you could not be pushy or fake, what will you do differently? Please feel free to drop your answer in the comments. I want to hear your game plan. Here is what we are covering in this episode: how to train your mindset muscle, the 3SW philosophy, how to use data like a hustler, stats do not lie, and how to keep going when you feel like quitting. Because we all have those days when we feel like giving up, when we feel like it's not working for us. And that's okay. That's normal to feel like nothing is working for you. You keep bumping in and you keep having challenges and it seems like you're knocking on the doors and just nothing is happening for you. It's okay. That's why we're gonna work on that because guess what? You just in that season at that moment. But guess what? Season changes. Just like when you look at the four seasons, you have summer, fall, winter, and spring. But it's not always spring. It's not always summer. And so the same thing here. When you feel like quitting or giving up, because we all do, I'm here to help you and give you some tools and some strategies to help you overcome those seasons when you feel like quitting. So please stick with me because by the end, you will have the tools to play the game with skill, strategy, and soul. So, all right, I will be right back after the intro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the Pulse, where the paper gets cracking. Creativity and strategy make it all happen. You ain't gotta sell, just market with flair. Put your plan on the map and leave them in despair. Smooth as jazz notes, the deals get closed. Ideas flowing like rivers, watch them explode. Through each campaign, we paint with precision. No need for selling, just spark the vision. Creativity reigns, we master the plan. From concept to launch, we make the stand. Strategies tight, rhythm in check. Welcome to the Pulse, where we break the neck.
All right, let us get into it. How to train your mindset muscle, the 3SW philosophy. This one is personal for me because it is the mindset that kept me in the game long after others quit. And what keeps me in the game is this principle that I learned early in my marketing career. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Let me say that again. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. That is not just a catchy phrase. It is a muscle memory mindset. And like any muscle, you have got to train it until it is automatic. Here's the problem. Too many entrepreneurs burn themselves out trying to convince the wrong people. That's a no. Stop doing that if you are doing it today. Stop trying to convince people who are not you, who are not the people who you are trying to serve. Stop chasing those people. Let them go. Let them go, because what will happen if you continue to chase those individuals who are not your customers, who the people who you are not called to, you will burn out. And so many people are burning out today because they're trying to convince people that 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 that's not even their target market or their target audience. So it's very important because we want to prevent burnout today. You have seen it, right? You send out 10 DMs and the first three annoy you. So you stop sending them. Or you launch a product. And after a few people say, not interested, you start questioning your entire idea. According to the Sales Insight Labs 2024 State of Sales Report, 44% of salespeople give up after just one follow up, even though 80% of sales require at least five follow ups to close. Five follow ups to close. So it won't happen on your first one. The reports say five, five, and even other people saying 7 touch points, but it's multiple follow ups and multiple touch points before you get that yes. That means most people quit before they have even given themselves a fair shot. So if you are quitting after hearing no a couple of times, you are not failing because you are bad. You are failing because you stop playing. I want to give you a personal example. In my solo sales role today, I meet all types, some skeptical, some rude, some flat out uninterested. I remember one day I went to 15 doors in a row, and every single one told me no. The 16, they signed up for a consultation on the spot. And this is not just me. Look at Oprah. Early in her career, she was told she was not fit for television. Now she is the media. That is the 3SW philosophy in action. She did not waste energy convincing those who did not get her. She kept moving until she found her audience. Think about it. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos was turned down by multiple investors in the 90s, but he kept pitching. Now Amazon controls over 37% of the US e-commerce market. And I guarantee those investors that turned them down early on, they wish they haven't. They wish they haven't. The difference was not luck. It was stamina. Here is how you build your 3SW mindset muscle, even on a budget. One, set a daily no goal. Instead of just counting wins, aim for 10 rejections a day. I know that seems a lot. I know that seems a lot. 10 rejections, and you constantly get enough. Just imagine early in my marketing career, I used to talk to over 100 people just to get 4 yes. Just to get 4 yes. And so I know you might say, man, I got to talk to 10 people, man, just to get. I know. But guess what? If you want to win in marketing, you got to. You have to. And why is that? Because the more you hear no, the closer you get to yes. Let me say that again. Because you're going to hear more no's than yes. You can look back even in your life right now, not just in business. You, even throughout your career, even in school, you probably heard a lot of no's. You probably was the last one picked. You probably was the second one picked, whatever it may be. But you heard a lot of no's. Just in life, you got rejected. Maybe even in relationships, you got rejected. Not every female or man was interested in you, but you kept going, right? You kept going. So it's the same thing. So if you want to make it in marketing, you got to set that daily no goal. You have to. How many no's you want to you're gonna be willing to take before you get that yes? See, I want to win. So I don't. I know. I understand that I have to get a lot of no's. So I'm willing to get 100 no's. I'm willing. Why? Because I know eventually my yes is on the other side of those no's, and I will keep going until I get that yes. And that's what you have to do. You have to make up in your mind that I'm not stopping until I get my yes. I'm not stopping until I get my yes. I'm not stopping. So if it takes 10 goals, 10 rejections to get a yes, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Salespeople who activity track their outreach closed 23% more deals according to HubSpot's 2024 Sales Trends Report. Two, detach your worth from the outcome. A no is not a reflection of your value. It is a data that says, not this one, move on. Let me say that again. Not this one, move on. That's all it says. Data just said, okay, you know what? I get and sometimes a person is say to no, but that don't mean they're always gonna be a no. Let me say it again. A person can say no today. That don't mean they're always going to be a no. That same person, maybe 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, they might become your yes. So, it depends on time. It depends on when you ask them where they was at. So this is why you always got to continue to follow up and continue asking people and not be afraid of the no. Because the person said no today, don't mean they're always going to, that don't mean they're going to say no next year or next week or whatever. So you keep asking. Detach your work from the outcome. Three, visualize the next move. Before you end one call or meeting, already picture yourself in the next one. This keeps you forward focused, not stuck in what just happened. When building a brand, you do not need everyone. You need your tribe. And this is why it's very important, even on YouTube, even on social media. This is why you don't want to chase numbers. I know it looks good. Oh man, I got a million views, but that don't mean all million people that follow you or listen to you. That don't mean they're all your tribe. That don't mean all of them is for you. That don't. I'd rather have 10 people that support me and purchase what I'm offering than having a million people and not buying nothing, not buying anything. That's not helping me. And I can't help them. Yes, they listening for free, but guess what? When they purchase my paywall and they work with me, they learning more. And so this is why I know social media and these influencers make it look good and make it seem so interesting. Oh man, I got a million subscribers. I got I got 100 doors. But guess what? But a lot of them that did all that, especially during COVID, they gone today. And so I want to say that again. When building a brand, you do not need everyone. You need your tribe. You do not want to spend $500 trying to convince a random audience on Instagram when you could pay $50 targeting people who already like similar brands. It is essential to start with small intentional plays. Use free tools like Canva, CapCut, Edit, or Buffer to create and schedule content messaging. Repurpose your best performing content so the yes people keep seeing you. Focus on building community with the ones already rocking with you. Your early supporters are your best marketers. What is one no you have been holding on to for too long? And how would your business shift if you decided today to move on to the next? Here's the thing. Once you start training your mindset muscle with the 3SW philosophy, you realize something powerful. The game is really about math. Your mindset gets you in the game, but your numbers keep you winning the game. Let me say that again. I just said something. I think I might have to share that on social media. Your mindset gets you in the game, but your numbers keep you winning the game. If you agree with me, please put it in the chat, put it in the comments. You can type in your mindset gets you in the game, but your numbers keep you winning the game. And that is precisely what we are talking about next. How to use data like a hustler. Stats don't lie. Because when you understand your numbers, you start predicting your yes. Instead of just hoping for it, let us keep it a buck. Numbers do not lie. People do. I need to say that again. Numbers, facts don't lie, but people do lie sometimes. If you are relying on vibes instead of stats to turn your business, you are not hustling. You are guessing. However, here is the problem. Most entrepreneurs avoid numbers because they have been conditioned to fear them. They will say things like, I am not just a numbers person, or I will figure it out later. But later never comes. And when it does, it is actually because the bank account is screaming at you.
Look, I know you have seen the headlines. New tax bill signed, prices rising, benefits threatened, and the working class left scrambling again. Let me keep it real with you. Congress will keep playing their games, but your bills are real. Your dreams are real. Your family's future is real. And in times like this, there is one thing that changes the game: owning your own income. That is why I created the Total Business Assets Bootcamp, a 6-month hands-on mentorship that helps you turn your idea into a real business, even if money is tight, even if you have never done this before. You will get a clear launch plan, a brand that connects, marketing strategies that actually work, and a supportive community. No gatekeepers, no fluff, just you taking back control. And here's the move. We are allowing a few founding members to get lifetime access for just $297 a year. That is less than your grocery bill, but it can feed your family for years. The politicians can play politics, but you can build. Your next opportunity window starts now. Click the link, join the bootcamp, and let us build your breakthrough together. Do not wait for them to change your life. Take it back. Let us get to work, and I will see you inside the bootcamp. Peace.
According to HubSpot 2024 State of Marketing Report, 42% of small business owners admit they do not track key marketing matrix consistently. Yet, companies that track ROI are 72% more likely to hit their revenue goals. That is not just a gap, that is a Canaan. Let me tell you, my undergrad statistics class changed my entire perspective on marketing. Before then, I saw sales and marketing as a creative hustle. After that class, I saw it as a math game, predictable, measurable, and winnable. I would like you to fast forward to my solar sales work today. I know my numbers so well that I can predict how many doors I need to knock on to keep or to meet my weekly quota. If I have a 10% close rate, I know I need to talk to at least 10 people to get one yes. That means every no is not a failure, it is progress toward a yes. And you cannot forget about the follow up game because even though you get a no today, that does not mean the door is closed forever. Like I mentioned earlier, that don't mean that because you get a no today, that don't mean the door is closed forever. Many of my best customers started as polite or not so polite rejections. But after multiple touch points, whether it was a quick check-in, a helpful tip, or them seeing me still show up, they became loyal clients. All I was doing is just staying top of mind. That's it. Just staying top, and that's all you want to do when you're following up with people. You just want to stay top of mind. And even like when in life, people, your friends, your family, all you're doing just every now and then you send a text message or you call them just to say hi, just to stay top of mind because you never know when you might ask for something or you need them for something and you don't want to be that individual that only call when you need something. You don't want to be that individual that you only call when you need something. So just like in your personal and professional personal relationships, you also want to do that in professional and business relationships as well. Staying top of mind, not going to an individual only when you need them. Because now it looks like you are being manipulated or manipulative and you are being salesy and pushy because you're only going to them when you need them. And the goal is you want to go to them and you being polite and always follow and always staying top of mind so that you want to feel like that you're ready to serve. You're ready to serve and you're ready to help people even when they're at need. And that's what it's about. It's about helping people when they are in need or when they're not in need, just serving. Harvard Business Review reports that 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-up calls or interactions after the first contact. But nearly half of salespeople give up after just one attempt. Translation: most people quit before the real opportunity even starts. Now, let us make this real. Say you sell a $200 product and your close rate is 8%. That means you close 8 out of every 100 leads. If your goal is $2,000 in sales, you do not need hope. You need 10 conversions, which means generating approximately 125 leads. And here is the thing. McKinsey and Company's 2023 analytics report found that businesses that leverage customer data and decision making improve marketing ROI by 15 to 20% compared to those who rely on intuition alone. When you combine data tracking with consistent follow up, you stop being at the mercy of luck and start playing the odds like a pro. Here is how to start using data like a hustler, even on a budget. One, track your touch points. Write down every DM, email, phone call, pitch, and post. Use free tools like Google Sheets. Peter Drucker once said, if you do not measure it, you cannot improve it. Two, calculate your conversion rate. Take your total sales divided by total leads and multiply by 100. That number is your truth. If it is 5%, you know exactly how many people to approach. Three, master the follow up. Create a simple calendar reminder for every prospect. A no today can be a yes next month. Four, set data driven goals. Instead of I want to make more money, say I need 50 leads this week to hit this amount of money, whatever you made. Because marketing is not just about showing up, it is about showing up with intention and repetition. If you know your click through rate, conversion rate, and average customer acquisition time, you can build campaigns that hit with precision instead of hoping something sticks. And when you add a disciplined follow up process to that equation, you multiply your chances of turning today's no into tomorrow's absolutely. If you went back and followed up with everyone who told you no in the last 90 days, how many of them might be ready to say yes today? The day is knowing your numbers and following up is one part of the game. But staying consistent when the rejections pile up is another. Because no matter how good your tracking is, there will be days when it feels like nothing is moving, nothing is shaking, nothing is going right for you. And that is when you will need something more profound than numbers. You will need grit. So, in our next segment, we are diving into exactly that, how to keep going when you feel like quitting. Now, let us be 100. Let us keep it a buck. Discouragement kills more dreams than failure ever could. It is not the rejection, the slow month, or the lack of likes on your post that knocks most people out of the game. It is that quiet little voice that says, maybe this just is not for me. The truth, most people quit right before the breakthrough. According to a 2023 LinkedIn survey, 82% of entrepreneurs who eventually reach seven figures experience a point where they seriously consider giving up. Not this, not the people listening to the podcast. I'm saying not us, not us. We changing that. We are not part of that statistic. We are not part of that statistic. And I like to say, however, those who push through increase their odds of long-term survival by 64% compared to those who quit early. We beating the odds. If you could, if I believe, if you continue to listen to the Post of Marketing, if you join the Total Business Assets Boot Camp, you will beat the odds. You will beat the odds. You will grow. You will succeed. You will hit your goals and achieve success at in the right time. Why? Because I'm teaching the skills, the strategies. I'm teaching everything that I know and I learned through school and through my experience from work and through and starting businesses as well. So all these things that I learned through experience and through my education, even as a PhD candidate, because I'm in school to get my PhD. All these things I'm learning, I'm applying and today in my career, as well as in business, so that I can bring it to you. So that we can um, be the 64% that don't quit on our goals, but that win in everything that we go after. And here's the thing: quitting is not always because of the idea does not work. More often, it is because the grind feels endless and the results feel invisible. I know this personally. There was a time in my sales career when I went 3 weeks without closing a single deal. Every day I showed up, knocked on doors, follow up with leads, and got nothing. I remember sitting in my car one night thinking, why am I still doing this? Why am I still? And you might be asking yourself right now. You might be on that job and not to work. You might be in that business. You've been doing this business for 6 months. You've been doing this business for a year, 2 years, and you just ask yourself, why am I still doing this business? Why? And that's a good question to ask, because sometimes we need to ask that, because we maybe it's not maybe you're talking to the wrong people. Maybe you got the wrong system. Maybe you learn it from the wrong people. We don't know. We don't know why. And so it's okay to question, why am I doing this? It's okay to ask the question, because I did it. I did it. It's okay to question why. Why? Because here's the thing, the mind is so powerful. A lot of times when you start questioning things, your mind begin to come up with strategy, and your mind begin to show you what you are doing wrong and where you need to go. So just remember that, and because I remember sitting in that car, thinking, why am I still doing this? But then I remember that every legend I admire did not just win, they outlasted everyone else. Tyler Perry, he lived in his car for months while his plays fell, but Medea eventually became a household name. Nipsey Hussle, he sold CDs out of his trunk before anyone gave him a record deal. Their success was not just a matter of talent, it was also a matter of stimulus. Here is a stack you can tattoo on your brain. The Small Business Administration reports that 50% of small businesses fail within 5 years, but the majority of those failures happen because owners give up after hitting predictable temporary plateaus. Another finding: Harvard Business Review discovered that businesses that maintain consistent outreach for 12 to 18 months, even without achieving massive early wins, they build brand equity that later double their lead conversion rates compared to companies that stop outreach after just 6 months. In other words, momentum takes time to cook. If you turn off the stove too soon, the meal never gets made. So, how do you keep going when you are tired, broke, and ready to hang it up? One, shift your success matrix. Stop judging yourself by daily results. Start measuring growth, skill, and connection. Ask, am I better than I was last month? Instead of, did I make X number of dollars today? Two, keep a fuel folder. Collect every testimonial, thank you message, positive reviews, and small wins. On the days you feel like quitting, you can open it up. A 2022 Philosophy Today article noted that reviewing past positive feedback can boost perseverance by up to 40%. Three, celebrate progress, not perfection. If you got three more leads this week than last, that is a win. If you learn something new about your audience, that is a win. Four, budget friendly resilience practice. Set a weekly encouragement budget of 10 minutes a day to watch a motivating clip, listen to a podcast, hopefully the postal marketing, or call someone who believes in you. It costs nothing but keeps your mind in the fight. For your business, this might mean running the campaign even when the numbers are slow. It might mean start posting that video even though yesterday's video got low engagement. It might mean sending that photo or email one more time when you are convinced no one's reading. Because here's the truth, your future customers are watching you right now to see if you are consistent enough to trust the process. What is one thing you will keep doing for the next 90 days, no matter the result? If you knew it would pay off in the long run. And that is the thing. Business is not always about doing more. It is about staying in long enough to see the seeds you have planted finally bloom. As we wrap up today's episode, I would like to leave you with a final thought on how playing this marketing and sales game with integrity and consistency can transform everything for you. So, if you have been hearing more no's than yes lately, good. You are doing something right. According to the National Sales Executive Association, 80% of sales occur after at least five follow ups, yet 44% of salespeople give up after just one. That means you could be one conversation away from the win you have been working for. The challenge is that most people misread rejection as a dead end instead of a detour. But in reality, every no is simply another step toward the yes that is already scheduled on your calendar. You just have not knocked on the right door yet. And it is not just about business. It is about mindset, stamina, and the willingness to keep putting yourself in position for opportunity. I had seen this play out in my career. There were weeks when it felt like the entire universe had me on do not disturb. However, the moment I kept knocking and following up, opportunities began to open up. One note from last summer called me back months later, not only ready to buy, but ready to refer me to three more clients. That is not magic. That is persistence in motion. And that is exactly what we built inside the Total Business Assets Bootcamp. The systems, mindset, and marketing game plan to help you not just survive the tough seasons, but dominate when your moment comes. It is about turning every no into a setup for your next yes and building a process so solid that even slow months cannot shake you. McKinsey 2023 growth report found that companies with consistent sales and marketing processes are 33% more likely to outperform competitors in revenue growth. That is what we do inside the boot camp. Build those processes for your business step by step. So, if you knew your yes was already on the calendar, what will you keep doing today without hesitation? Please feel free to drop your answer in the comments, as I would like to hear what is holding you back in the game. And do not forget my book, Quit a Shutout, will be released around Christmas. Christmas, maybe early parts of January. But this is your blueprint for staying the course when everyone else is falling off. Let us build smarter, not broke. Let us get it, fam. As I always say, you don't have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. Thank you for rocking today's Marketing Monday on the Postal Marketing episode with me. If this sparked something in you, if it got the wheels turning, here is how to keep the momentum. Subscribe to the Postal Marketing wherever you listen. Follow me on social for daily tips and encouragement. Like and rate this show. It helps others discover this content. And share this episode with someone ready to build with clarity, courage, and community. Next week, Marketing Monday, we are diving deep into AI or get left behind. If you have been wondering how to keep your customers loyal to you through any economic downturn, and right now we are in a downturn, as we notice and looking and seeing, even with the unemployment rate that I noticed, it dropped to it is at like 4%. That is high compared to 2021, 2022. But regardless of these economic downturns that they're predicting that we might be in right now, regardless of that, if you want to keep your customers loyal to you during these times, you do not want to miss this next episode. Until next time, stay visible, stay valuable, and stay ready. Let us continue to build one strategy at a time. We are creating a marketing toolkit that thrives in any economy. Stay strategic, stay creative, and I will see you next Monday on Marketing Monday. And you know what's coming next. Deuces! Peace.
Look, I know you have seen the headlines. New tax bill signed. Prices rising. Benefits threatened. And the working class left scrambling again. Let me keep it real with you. Congress will keep playing their games, but your bills are real. Your dreams are real. Your family's future is real. And in times like this, there is one thing that changes the game: owning your own income. That is why I created the Total Business Assets Bootcamp, a 6-month hands-on mentorship that helps you turn your idea into a real business, even if money is tight, even if you have never done this before. You will get a clear launch plan, a brand that connects, marketing strategies that actually work, and a supportive community. No gatekeepers, no fluff, just you taking back control. And here's the move. We are allowing a few founding members to get lifetime access for just $297 a year. That is less than your grocery bill, but it can feed your family for years. The politicians can play politics, but you can build. Your next opportunity window starts now. Click the link, join the boot camp, and let us build your breakthrough together. Do not wait for them to change your life. Take it back. Let us get to work, and I will see you inside the boot camp. Peace.